Good morning everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. If you're new here, hi, I'm Taylor. I work on a small dairy farm in Maine. We milk about 70 cows and I do vlog style videos on the daily life of a small farmer. So getting right into it today, I had convinced myself that I was going to start this video earlier, but as you guys can see by the very bright sun, it is quite late. It's about 8:30, 9 o'clock. We just finished milking. We've fed the cows already. They're eating their rabbed hay. You can see they're enjoying that. That one's making a weird face right now, but... So I did have a few things that I wanted to get done today, but we'll get to that after I introduce a couple girls to you guys. So our first girl right here, this is Harriet. She is a purebred Holstein. She's around 6 years old. We bought her from another farmer when she was shortbred with her second calf, I believe. Really good milker, but something about her would be that she just has your average Holstein demeanor. She just doesn't really like people that much. She's not mean. She's just not really into people being around her or touching her. So she's got pretty common Holstein attitude. So that's Harriet. So our next girl, this right here is a 3.5-year-old Guernsey Holstein cross. You can see she's got a decent set of horns on her there. She did come from someone else. She is a little on the small side, but like I said, she's 3.5 years old, so it wasn't because she was bred too young. She's just a little on the small side. Something about her would be that she has quite an unusual name. She was already named when we got her, and she seemed like she knew her name. She responded to it and everything, so we decided to keep it, but the guy named her Tonguette. I don't really know what that means or if it means anything. I don't know, but we still call her that just because we thought it was kind of funny. And so if you know what that means, please tell me, but I don't know what it means. So what I wanted to do today, since we weren't really doing anything, I feel like I've been saying that a lot lately, but like I said, it's just winter, we don't really do much. But this morning I got hit in the face by one too many tails, and it made me think that maybe I should go around the whole barn and just trim some tails today. You can see that there are some, like this one right here, she probably does need a little bit trimmed off. When they're inside all the time, they lay down and their tail drags in the gutter and it just picks up a lot of crap, and then they fling it onto themselves. Like you can see her, she's flung a lot of it onto her side. Hers isn't too long. You can feel the end of the tailbone about right there, so she's got an extra 3 or 4 inches there. So a cow like that, I may not trim hers. I might maybe just trim it a little tiny bit. But then you can see there are cows like this one right here. Her tail is just excessively long. She's probably got an extra 6 or 7 inches that really just need to be cut off, because you can see it's matting up, and that's just got to be uncomfortable. So I thought, why not go around the barn and trim all of their tails today? Sometimes I do trim a few of them while we're milking. If they're really bad and I notice they're bad, I will trim them. But I don't usually go all the way around the barn and trim their tails. But I'm going to try doing that today and just see how much it improves the quality of milking. This dry cow right here, her tail is quite short. I must have cut hers at some point in time. She's got a pretty long one. She could stand to be cut. Cora Beth here, hers is just, she always has the wispiest tail I've ever seen. She has like 3 hairs growing off in it. But that's okay, we love you anyway, huh? It's not your fault, you're follically challenged. So there's quite a few to do, so this might take me a little while. I'm gonna go shut off the milk room and then we'll get right into it. Clean out the trash can by running some rinse water into it. It's pretty gross. Alrighty, so you can see I've been keeping this spot rather clean. I'm pretty proud of myself. It hasn't accumulated too much junk yet, although the battery charger made its way back again, just like I told you guys it would. So here are my scissors. This is all we use to trim tails. We just have a pair of, I'm not really sure what you call them. I call them cow tail trimmers, but I don't think that's what they're called. So that is what I'm going to be using. So my hand is going to be pretty sore by the end of the day. You can see some of them have already decided to lay down, so they're not too hungry. Oh, she's going to eat while laying down. Well, that's a new level of lazy. But... okay. So I guess I'm going to start over here on this side. How I do it, or how Brent taught me to do it, is you just feel all the way down the length of her tail until you can feel the very end of their bone. Hers is right here. And you just want to keep a hold of that. They don't usually like it. You just want to keep a hold of that and then go down maybe an inch, and then you just cut right there. just to make sure that you don't nick their bone or anything, because they bleed quite profusely if you do. And that's what it'll look like, all trimmed up nice. She is dry, you can see her little udder there. But so again, just feel for their tailbone. Hers is actually, her tailbone's pretty far down, so I won't be cutting that much off of her. There. Check out how much she had. That's probably the most I've cut off yet. Looking pretty good, pretty spiffy, all cleaned up nice. So I just finished doing the girls' tails. It took me about a half hour, maybe a little bit over a half hour, so not as long as I thought it was going to take. But my hand is already pretty sore, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be very sore tomorrow morning. I didn't get as much of it videotaped as I would have liked to, because for some reason my camera said it was recording and it actually wasn't. So that's kind of frustrating, so sorry I didn't get to show you guys more of that. I was explaining after I went around and did everything that one of the things I do like to do is maybe if a cow doesn't need her tail completely clipped, but she does have little pieces of hard coated poop on the end of her tail. I call them little dingleberries. If she has some of those on the end of her tail, I will just cut those off. It doesn't look very good just taking off like certain sections of a cow's tail. It looks kind of ratty. It's a good thing I wasn't a hairdresser, but it can't be very comfortable for them to have that extra weight on their tail. And also those things are like little tiny weapons if you get hit in the face with one when you're milking. You guys farm, you know that it hurts a lot. So I do like to cut those off. In the summertime, I do like to leave the girls' tails a little bit longer, just because if these girls are out to pasture and they're fighting off those flies, you guys know that no matter what you do, you could use the liquid, the powder, you could use them all together, and you could never completely keep the flies away. So there's always going to be some flies on them or near them. So I just like to leave their tails a little bit longer in the summer just so they have something to fight off those flies with. And then in the winter, I will cut them as short as I possibly can because they don't need those dragging in the gutter, picking up poop, slinging it on themselves, slinging it on us. That's just a mess, so we don't need that. So we do cut them off really, really short in the winter. Something else that I went around the barn and did, and I did videotape it, but like I said, my camera is having an off day. I did go around the whole barn and make sure that all the water bowls were coming good. I just took this hammer and I came over to one of these water bowls, each one of them, and if it wasn't going good, and some of them were fine, you can see like obviously I already did this one, but this one I wouldn't have hit, but some of them you just like need to tap it a little bit just to make sure that that water is coming out at a good flow for the girls. Hello, Mary. Something that can also happen and make the water bowls stick or not give enough water is since we get our water from a pond, it has scum and dirt and algae that sometimes the pump will pick up and send up to the barn. And there's a little strainer in the water bowl button that looks like, I brought one so I could show you guys. It looks like this. You can see, I don't know why it won't focus on it. That strainer on the end of it. Sometimes that strainer will get plugged up with dirt or algae, you know. Sometimes that will just fill up with dirt and gunk, so you have to go along and kind of hit the button a little bit like I did with that hammer just to make sure that it dislodges some of that crap so that the water can go through the strainer. So that is also something that we have to do quite often just to make sure that the girls can get a nice long drink of water. So while I was standing here talking to you guys, I heard a noise and I looked out the window and the milk truck was just leaving. So I am so sorry, you guys. You guys have been asking for a long time if I could film the milk being picked up. And usually he doesn't come until like 2 o'clock and it's like 9. So I wasn't expecting that and I wasn't paying attention. So next time I promise I will catch it, you guys. So sorry that I missed that opportunity. I was really getting into talking about what I was doing and I just wasn't paying attention. So anyway, those are the things that we did today. Just cleaned up the girls nice, gave them a good haircut, made them look nice, and also it's much easier to milk when a dirty tail isn't hitting you in the face all the time, so that will be really nice tonight. And also went around and made sure that the girls can get their nice clean fresh water. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below. Keep it real and keep farming, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.